Hi there and welcome to Spiritual Soulmate. I'm Gail Marie and I've come to talk to you today a little bit about the bell curve. Now the bell curve you see in a lot of things in life, but the bell curve we're talking about here is about relationships. When you're looking for your one true love, you're somewhere on that bell curve. Now the bell curve goes from being a long way from who you want in life, from that one true love, to being a perfect match for that one true love. So, what is it like when you're a perfect match? Well, what it's like is that you feel like this person knows you well, that you've been together before, that you're very comfortable, that you can say anything, you can be yourself, you don't have to pretend. They think you're the most wonderful person in the world. It doesn't mean that you spend all day, every day with them, but it means that you love them dearly and just feel like you want to be with each other. It's a mutual experience. Finding your one true love is not one way. It's a mutual experience. So if you've had that feeling before but it's only been one way, then this is not your true love. It's not a spiritual soulmate experience. Now, the other side of this bell curve is where you feel so far away from it. On a scale probably from 0 to 10, that would be a 0. It's like you don't feel there's anybody out there anymore. You've had bad experiences and there's nobody there for you. So you just don't have faith that any great relationship is out there for you anymore. It's a sad place to be, really, because it's reflected in the rest of your life as well. You can't feel that way without feeling a sense of disappointment in life. You don't have a happy life and a disappointing feeling about relationships. Okay? They tend to follow each other. You can be successful in your job and you can be feeling good sometimes in life, but if there's that pit there, there's that something in there that says there's no relationship for me, I'm really sad about that. Not I'm really happy about it, but if I'm really sad about it and I don't know what to do about it, nobody can help me, that's a 0. You can get the gist of that. I mean, it's a pretty hopeless situation. So when you're in that hopeless place, hopefully you're not, and if you're in that hopeless place, that's the 0 part of the bell curve. And then there are different parts all along the way. So what happens is, as you're at the beginning of the bell curve and you're sort of thinking, oh, maybe there's somebody, oh, I don't know about that, and it's too hard, and I've had lots of bad relationships in the past. It's like you're not quite on that 0 there. You've moved up a little bit, but it's a struggle. Just like any hill, it's a struggle to get up. And as you get up closer and closer, and you get up to this part here, then when you're on top of the bell curve, you're on a downward trajectory and you're gathering momentum, and it's much easier then to keep going in that direction. But where we find people get stuck when they're looking for their one true love or their perfect partner or their spiritual soulmate or whatever you want to call them, is that they get stuck on this top part here of the bell curve. So they're not on the 0, they're not at the top where they're about to go over. It's in this part here that they get stuck and they give up. It's like they feel like, well, there's nobody there for me, and there's a sadness. It's not nobody's there for me and I'm happy on my own. It's like nobody's there for me and there's a sadness. So they give up. They don't think that there's anybody ever going to come and be with them and live life to the fullest with them. So what we want to do in this 7-day self-care retreat that begins in June, what we want to do is help people to get from here to just tip over that bell curve, because once they do, there's a momentum that happens that takes them closer and closer and closer to what they want. So to get people from here to here is always our biggest challenge, because they don't believe in themselves and we have to carry them to a place where they do believe in themselves. They think it's possible. They want to know what's next and how can I do this for myself. And the way we do that is through self-care. Because if you don't care for yourself, why would anybody else care for you? You're always going to get a vibrational match to how you feel inside. Now, I know you think that maybe you've got a vibrational match to somebody who's abused you, and we'll talk about that another time there, but you do always get a vibrational match. So we need to help you shift where you are now to where you want to be, because any relationships you get on this side of the bell curve are not going to be ones that you're happy with. They're not going to be relationships that you want to spend the rest of your life with. So that's what this 7-day self-care challenge is about, is helping you get from here on the bell curve up to here, where you can tip over with your momentum and keep on going. And we'll have things that you can do to keep going in that momentum. So in that 7 days, in that 7-day self-care challenge, you'll actually have things that you can put in place. You'll be looking at things, old patterns that are holding you back. You'll be looking at the inner workings of how you've created to be where you are, so that you can actually just pull out. It's like pulling out a plug. You can actually look at a bath full of water and think, oh, there's water in that bath, but if there are bubbles in it, you actually can't see the plug. But once you feel down and pull out the plug, then all the water just keeps going down by itself. And that's what we want to do to help you move up that bell curve, is to pull out that plug so that all that old stuff can go down the drain and you can begin to float up and up and up. And we'll help you to do that. It's something that you'll probably never do on your own. I mean, you can do it on your own, but it's like 90-something% of people, they're not my figures, this is a survey, about 97% of people can't do these shifts on their own. They're only small shifts, but they can't do them on their own. If they start off, they go back to where they were. It's a little bit like losing weight. You've heard that when people lose weight within 2 years, they gain it all back again and then some. Similar, very similar indeed. So people start to move, then they go back. They start to move, then they go back. We want you to put shifts in place, so we're willing to help you and support you to do that. So we have a 7-day self-care retreat that is free. If you'd like to join us, just click the link and come and join us in the Facebook group, and we'll get you started. We're looking forward to seeing you. Come join us and come gather together some self-love and begin to attract your true love.